It was a cold morning at Falcon Aerotech, a top aerospace company in Seattle. The massive hangar buzzed with tension. A broken prototype helicopter sat lifeless under harsh lights, its deadline just hours away. Engineers whispered nervously as the CEO, Vincent Hart, stormed in. "If we don't get this running today, the investors walk," he barked. The team worked frantically but failed each time. In the corner, an older janitor named Frank quietly mopped the floor, listening. He had once been an aircraft mechanic decades ago, but no one there knew, not even the CEO, who barely noticed him. When the engineers gave up, Vincent slammed his tablet on the table. "Useless. We're burning millions every hour." His frustration echoed through the hangar. Frank looked up from his mop, watching the team pack up tools. "Excuse me, sir," he said softly. "Mind if I take a look?" The engineers exchanged mocking glances. You're the janitor," one laughed. Vincent smirked, half amused. "If you can fix this, I'll give you $100 million, he said sarcastically. Frank nodded calmly. "Deal." The laughter faded as he walked toward the helicopter, eyes studying every detail with quiet confidence. Frank climbed inside the cockpit, fingers brushing the old controls like greeting an old friend. The machine wasn't just broken, it was misunderstood. He opened a maintenance panel and noticed a small but fatal wiring flaw, something overlooked by the high-tech diagnostics. "You've been feeding her too much power," he murmured. He rolled up his sleeves and began working with simple tools from his old belt, tools he had kept for years. The engineers gathered, curious now. Every twist, every adjustment carried precision, born of experience, not textbooks. Slowly, the helicopter began to hum back to life. The sound filled the hangar, a soft vibration growing stronger until the rotors began to turn. Engineers stepped back, astonished. Vincent's eyes widened. "That's impossible," he whispered. Frank kept his focus steady, checking gauges and recalibrating power flow. "She just needed a lighter touch," he said quietly. Within minutes, the once-dead helicopter hovered inches off the ground, smooth and balanced. Applause broke out from the stunned staff. Vincent walked forward, disbelief written all over his face. "How did you—" he began. Frank just smiled faintly. "Sometimes machines don't need genius, just respect." Vincent called the investors immediately, showing them the revived prototype through a live stream. Within hours, the deal was saved, a multi-billion-dollar contract secured. The board cheered, and Vincent stood tall, but his gaze lingered on the janitor wiping grease from his hands. After the excitement settled, he approached Frank. "You weren't serious about the $100 million, right?" Frank said with a small grin. Vincent chuckled nervously. "That was a joke, old man." Frank nodded. "So was fixing your helicopter," he replied, turning to leave. The room fell silent, the weight of humility settling on the CEO's shoulders. Later that night, Vincent couldn't sleep. He replayed the moment, the janitor's calm confidence, the effortless fix, and the quiet dignity. He called HR at midnight. "Who is this Frank guy?" he demanded. Records showed that Frank Miller had been working as a janitor for 10 years. No complaints, no promotions. But deeper digging revealed something shocking. Frank had once been an aerospace engineer, one of the best in the Air Force. He left after a tragic accident grounded him for life. Vincent felt a pang of shame. He had mocked a man who once built the skies. The next morning, Vincent called Frank into his office for the first time ever. "You should have told me who you were," he said. Frank shrugged. "Didn't think it mattered. Work's work." Vincent looked out the window, then back at him. "I made a promise, even if it was a stupid one." He slid an envelope across the table. Inside wasn't $100 million, but a full engineering position, a lifetime contract, and shares in the company. Frank's hands trembled. "You don't owe me this," he said. "No," Vincent replied, "but I owe you my company." Frank returned to the hangar, this time not as a janitor, but as chief mechanic and mentor. The same engineers who once laughed now looked up to him with respect. He taught them that real engineering wasn't just about blueprints and formulas. It was about intuition, patience, and heart. The prototype helicopter, now officially named Phoenix, became Falcon Aerotech's flagship success. At the launch event, The crowd applauded as Vincent introduced the man who brought Phoenix back from the ashes. Frank simply nodded, choosing to stay humble as the helicopter soared above the cheering audience. Weeks later, Vincent visited Frank's small home outside town. In the garage sat an old rusted engine, his personal project. "Still fixing things," Vincent joked. Frank smiled. "It's what I do." The CEO walked closer, setting a briefcase on the table. Inside was a check, not for 100 million, but for 5. "It's not about the money," Vincent said. "It's about keeping my word." Frank looked up, surprised. "You really don't need to." Vincent shook his head. "Maybe not, but men like you remind the world what integrity looks like." They shook hands, equals. At last, that night, Frank stood outside, watching the sky where Phoenix flew under test lights, its blades glinting against the stars. He thought about how life had humbled him, and yet, in the simplest moment, given him everything back: purpose, respect, and peace. Sometimes heroes aren't in suits or headlines. They're the ones quietly sweeping floors, carrying decades of wisdom unnoticed until the world truly needs them. Frank smiled to himself, whispering, "She's flying again." The helicopter roared above, a symbol of redemption and proof that even in silence, greatness never truly disappears. It just waits to be remembered.